Don't worry, Master.
I'm not worried.
This will be no problem.
Did I say I was worried?
This might be a problem.
Revenge of the Sith came out 17 years ago when movie tie-in games were all the rage, but often fell short of actually being any good. 17 years ago, I was 14 and absolutely going out of my mind with hype for the upcoming release of Revenge of the Sith. The game actually hit store shelves a full 15 days before the movie even premiered in theaters, and yet somehow, despite having an Xbox, and despite Revenge of the Sith consuming my life in 2005, I never owned the game. So I finally played through it, and now I'm here to tell you how it is 17 years later.
That is not within the Chancellor's power. Only the Jedi Council can authorize access.
I'll just get it out of the way right now and say that my conclusion is that it's rad as hell, and I'm surprised more people don't talk about it when they talk about the great Star Wars games of old like they do with Republic Commando or Episode 1 Racer and the like. Naturally, the game follows the story of the film. Well, sort of. It really just stretches out action sequences in the film, like having Obi-Wan and Anakin run through the bowels of the Invisible Hand, or having Kenobi tear through droids on Utapau, and it entirely ignores everything else. Padme isn't even in the game at all. But as someone who knows the movie by heart, I found it very fun to see how the developers chose to twist and deform the plot to focus on gameplay. Like Anakin having a drawn-out duel with Mace Windu and then getting to play as the newly christened Darth Vader as he slaughters his way through the Jedi Temple. Those were exciting surprises, as was the game just letting you kill helpless members of the Separatist Council on Mustafar. Also, Anakin actually gets to use Force Lightning. And if you thought Obi-Wan was a sass master before, well, this game takes it up another notch.
Be careful, Anakin. You're running out of limbs. They should have left you on Tatooine.
You've shown me one thing. I'd better stay in shape.
Dude has no chill. And yes, that's James Arnold Taylor, voice of Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars. Some of the other voice acting in the game is less impressive, but absolutely entertaining.
Use the Force, Master.
Oh my. Oh dear.
He's locked it. We're trapped.
You will pay for your actions.
Watch it.
The gameplay essentially falls into two categories: fighting lots of small enemies like battle droids, clones, usually just killing them until the game lets you progress, and boss fights, which always involve dueling another saber wielder and in my opinion are the most fun and sometimes most challenging parts of the game. Fighting the less significant enemies initially feels pretty bare bones and simple, though as you progress, you can unlock new skills and combos, choosing where to invest your XP, and so by the end of the game you actually do have a satisfying moveset at your disposal if you take the time to learn all the combos. It really feels like you could learn to become an untouchable killing machine if you took the time to really learn the moves the game gives you. This move happens to be my favorite. The game is dated in many ways. It frustratingly does not give the player control of the camera, opting for single angle camera view in each area, and in bigger areas the camera can sometimes feel at odds with you. Some of the enemies can get pretty frustrating when they constantly block your attacks and then grab you in a big bear hug. I'm beginning to see where the Force Unleashed got some of its ideas from. Lack of checkpoints during boss fights feel extra frustrating due to their partitioned nature. The fights tend to move from location to location, broken up by small cutscenes, none of which provide a checkpoint. So if you die at the very end of a fight, you gotta start the whole thing over. Though at least when playing as Anakin, it's always a good chuckle every time you lose.
Is this what the Jedi Order has come to? I'll show you the true power of the dark side.
You're overconfident to be your downfall. What's the matter, Anakin? Afraid? Take this. Let's see what you can do.
That said, the boss fights were very fun and often challenging in a way that made me want to learn how to be better at the game. The saber duels are usually packed with quips between the combatants, and the frequent saber locks and varied animations keep things feeling like an intense prequel-era lightsaber duel. Except for all the times you try and sneak away to force heal because you kinda suck and are getting your ass kicked. One of my favorite features is that these duels are what multiplayer is. You can throw down with a friend or against the CPU in one-on-one lightsaber duels, and it's really fun.
Beat me. You think you have a chance?
Revenge of the Sith charmed me with nostalgia, both for Star Wars fandom circa 2005 and the original Xbox, and the game amused me with its campiness and unintentional humor. If you're like me and somehow you missed out on this game back in the day, I think it's still definitely worth your time in 2022. It's a fun time capsule of Star Wars history and video game history that's full of little surprises and satisfying moments that far outweighed some of the more dated and frustrating elements, and the game kept me coming back for more. Thanks for watching.
You underestimate the power of the dark side.
Don't try it!